All right, we're going to go ahead and start the cover for our sketchbook. We're using squeegees to make squeegee paintings. What we'll be doing is putting paint on our blue painter's tape or masking tape. We're going to use a squeegee to pull and drag that paint down our paper or across. We can think about what would happen if we added some wavy lines to our paint. What happens if we overlap some? The trick to this is not a lot of paint. You really need just a little bit of paint. And we have these acrylic here. Some of these might be a little bit runny. I just gave this a little shake and I could hear that it was running. So I'm going to get this near the paper. And a couple drips came out. I think I'll add some green here. There's less green, I can tell. It's almost out. So when you shake it, make sure your lid's closed. And maybe I'll add a little yellow there. So hardly any amount, hardly any paint. I'm going to start here with my orange. I'm going to go ahead and scrape it down. Dragging, make sure your scraper is touching your paper. And when I come up, I should have just a little bit left over. Now I'm going to go ahead and just wipe that extra off. I can even wipe it off there. Now I'm going to come over to the one that I have two. I have two at the top. I'm going to think about doing a wavy line coming across and down. So I place my squeegee down. Do you see how it changes? It's not straight now, it's gone wavy. Now I'm ready to add some more. I'm going to add a little bit of pink to the side. And then once it crosses over the colors, you can see that they mix together. So I'm thinking about my design. I know I have some coming across here. I have some area here, and it might be interesting to have maybe just a little bit of black. I think I'll come right at an angle and just do the side here. All right, I'm looking at my design. I did find some iridescent. You won't see this much, but once you get it to dry, you will notice it. I think I'll just come right across the top here. If you do see piles of paint, it will pick up and smear, so make sure you don't have the piles and you keep your area clean. You can hardly see it, but when it dries, it will show up a little bit more. All right, so on these, we started on the edges. Let's see what happens if we start directly on the paper. I'm just going to put a little drop. And I'm going to start and pull it down. You can see that it's small and then it gets a little wider. I think I'm going to be about done on this one. It's up to you how you design it. I like having some white areas showing, but now that I'm looking at this, I'm thinking maybe just a little black streak running down right by that orange would look nice. Make sure you go slow, take your time, small amount of paint. All right, when this dries, which is pretty much instant, like I can go ahead and put my hand on that because I've scraped most of my paint off, I'm going to start removing my tape. Now, start at the corner, and then I want you to start dragging it at an angle, slowly and carefully. You might pull up a little bit of the paper. Don't worry about the cardboard. And then I'll grab this part. Oop, that one's not working. So maybe I'll go up to this side. and pull the tape off at an angle. And then I'll do the other two sides. All right, here is my finished artwork for my cover. I'm going to go ahead and turn this over. I got to fold this in half, so line it up, corners kiss like Miss Smiley says. Hold it in place, drag your finger down and to the edge. This is watercolor paper. It is heavy duty paper, so you're really going to have to give it a real good fold. Now you've gone and picked 10 pieces of paper. I got a variety. I've got some plain, I got some graph, and some line. And you're going to want to stack that up nice and neat. Mine's not the same size, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of line it up as best as I can. And you're also going to fold this in half as neat as you can and give it a good crease. Now we're going to open up our cover. We're going to lay our folded paper in the center. I'm doing this so I have my cover paper bordering this, and everything is lined up on the fold. All right, now we're going to use this magazine and have our fold go in the center like that. We're making 3 holes, one directly in the middle, one near the top, and one near the bottom. Now the one near the top, you don't want to get too close to the edge because it will not pick up your paper. You want to come in about a finger space at least. We're going to use something called an awl. It has a wooden handle and a point at the end. I will help you do this. You're going to find the center and you're going to put it upright and you're going to twist it back and forth. This is puncturing a hole into your papers. Make sure your helper hand is holding everything close together or sealed together. Do the top and notice how this is holding everything securely, and the bottom. Twist, 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 twist. Turn it over. We see that we have gone through the back as well. Now we're ready for binding. All right, let's assemble our sketchbook now. We have our waxed thread and a tapestry needle. We're going to open up our pages, make sure they're all lined up. And we'll thread the eye of our needle. So this is going to go through. It's nice and easy because it is waxed. And we have a huge eye. Have a little bit of a tail. Go ahead and fold it. We are going to go through the pages first. Here we go. Now I'll get the other sheet. Since these were a different size, these got all wonky. All right, so now I'm going to pull this through. Not all the way. I do want to leave a little bit of room so I can tie my knot. Now I'm going to go back through the center hole of all my pages. Oh, these got mislined up. Let me try to separate these a little bit. Go through these first. Now I'll find the graph paper and the plain paper. Oh, that was an easier step. I'm also going to go through the cover. And I'll pull. All right, so now, turn this over, I'm going to go through the cover. I'll pull that through, and now I'm going to go through the top pages. Pull it tight. The graph and the line. And line those up, pull, make that tight. All right, so now I've gone through the top holes. Now I'm going to go back into the middle. This should be easy. Everything should be lined up. Look at that. And when I pull, I'm making sure I hold that tail so it doesn't go off the needle. And now I'm going to go through the cover, the back cover. Now I can unthread my needle. And now I'm going to pull this tight and this tight. Now we're going to have to tie it. We're going to make an X, like you're tying your shoe, cross them, have the end go through the hole, pull tight, and do your double knot. You're going to have to hold it and pull. Nice and tight, that's perfect. Now I can go ahead and trim those ends. And refold it, voila. I have folded my sketchbook and I'm ready to begin to jot down my notes and ideas for this upcoming school year. Oh, by the way, we should probably write our names right here. And your teacher code.